What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see from the title, we are reacting to Sabrina Carpenter's Man's Best Friend. I was about to call it Manchild. So this is my first time I'm doing this. I have never reacted to an album. I typically review it, two different things. So I typically listen to the album 2 to 3 times, watch a bunch of interviews about what the artist has to say about the project before I write down my thoughts and then record it and all that good stuff. But today I want to try something a little different, but I still have notes. It's right here on my sticky notes. I need to really get, what do you call cue cards? I need to get those. But for right now, I have notes written on my sticky notes here. So I'm going to be referring to them. So if you see me looking down, obviously you can see it in the screenshot. So I haven't listened to the album, obviously. The only song I've listened to was the very first video, Manchild, the lead single, which came out back in June. And I've seen the video only once. And apparently there are Easter eggs, which we're gonna re-watch it together, and I'll probably make a separate video much later with the Easter eggs if I feel so inclined to. And yeah, so that was released back in June ahead of her album release date, and then the cover of the album, which caused a lot of controversy, which honestly, y'all, there was so much controversy, so much divide online about it. And I was like, I really don't know why people are shocked. This is what pop stars do. And she herself had admitted that in the Apple podcast, which is one of the interviews I watched for this reaction. So she only has, that I know of, she only has like 3 interviews for this project. The rollout has been very quiet. So she only has 3 press tour interviews for this. So the one with the Apple podcast, the one with Nardwuar, and the one with Gil King. And I've watched all 3 of them, so I'll be referencing them slightly before we get into the album reaction. So yeah, I wasn't surprised. This is what pop stars do. I remember when Christina Aguilera came out with a video for Dirty with her hair looking like this. I'll insert it on the screen, and how much of a visceral reaction people had to it. You know, the difference from Genie in a Bottle to that video. Same thing with Miley Cyrus and Can't Be Tamed. I remember seeing that video thinking, what is happening? And then of course Rihanna's Rude Boy and S&M, and then more recently actually Cardi B's WAP. Some politician had said she was bringing women back 100 years or something. Yeah, so this is not that much difference. Like, pop stars are supposed to be provocative. It feels like it's a law at this point. My initial interpretation when I saw it was that some men, not all men, some men treat women like dogs, in the sense that some men want companionship in the same way they enjoy companionship of a pet, of a dog, but they don't actually want to put in the work to make that partnership work. That's how I interpreted that. In fact, this is what she had to say about it on the Gil interview. I'll insert it right here.
My interpretation is, it really is being in on the control, being in on your lack of control, and when you want to be in control. Like, I think as a young woman, you're just as aware of when you're in control as when you're not. And I think some of those are choices. And I think for me, this whole album was about the humanity of allowing yourself to make those mistakes, knowing when you're, you know, putting yourself in a situation that will probably end up poorly, but it's going to teach you something. And I think just looking at that and being able to laugh at yourself, laugh at the other person, laugh at the relationships, and not take it all too seriously, was the goal. And also the idea of knowing when you're not in control, you're still in control, if that makes sense.
And actually, another YouTuber by the name of Melanie Hamlet had done a video about this very thing. It wasn't even related to Sabrina's album cover, but it's kind of related to the whole thing, where she's talking about how men, or some men, again, who date women, when you're trying to get said woman, when you're trying to court her, they will do everything. And then once they've gotten her, they stop trying, which is what I think her alternative album cover was conveying, you know, the one with all the flowers. I think that one was actually cuter than the initial one she released. So that's how I interpret that one, the one with all the flowers, where like this man is sending her, or this potential guy or suitor is sending her all these flowers. Then once he's gotten her, then obviously he stops trying. And also the picture, the other one in black and white, almost the same thing. Some men just want a woman for arm candy. Now, Sabrina, in one of her interviews, had mentioned that with Man's Best Friend, she was writing the songs on this album as events happened to her. So sort of like stream of consciousness, whereas in Short and Sweet, she wrote songs after something happened to her and she had time to process, and then she wrote the song about it. I haven't watched anybody's review or reactions to the album, but of course I've been online and I've seen some thumbnails saying the album was undercooked and it wasn't ready, but that's probably because she wrote everything as it was happening to her and she wanted to be more experimental, make something that was true to how she was feeling at the time, and I can respect that. And yeah, some of the influences for this album and just in general, she had mentioned the Blue Nile, which is actually interesting because I think that Blue Nile was also referenced in Taylor Swift's Tortured Poets, one of the songs on Tortured Poets. The Blue Nile was mentioned. I forget which one. Once I find it, I'll put it on the screen. So the Blue Nile was one of her influences, as well as Patsy Cline, and she mentioned ELO. I don't know any of these people, but she said these are her influences for this album.
When it comes to you, caught up in these exes and these old like whoa, 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 whoa.
And with that being said, let's go ahead and listen to this album together. So let's get into it. I'll have to log on to my laptop, which is right in front of me here.
Oh boy.
Did she just get thrown out of a car? I'm not too crazy about this song, honestly. Definitely has some 80s synths, but also very country adjacent. Yeah, I don't know what's happening in this video, child. It just looks chaotic. Maybe on third watch I'll get it. She's basically getting out of one show and into the next. That's how I interpret this. Why is there a turtle? Child. I don't understand this video. I might need a third watch to understand what's happening here. It's probably based off of a movies that I've never seen. Okay. So this is picking up from where we left off in the last one. Was she dressed like this? Apparently there's like 3 alternative endings to this one, which I'll watch at my own time and maybe discuss again if I feel so inclined to. Okay, harmony. Oh, very 70s. Okay. Disco-ish. She did say this album was inspired by the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I'm definitely getting the 70s vibe here.
You have to give the people what they want.
Okay. This would definitely need some more rewatching because I don't know what I just saw. Alright, let's skip to the next one. My Man on Willpower, which Sabrina has said this is one of her favorites. She says this song, My Man on Willpower, and Nobody's Son were 2 of her favorites, I believe. Also, I prefer listening to it with headphones so I can hear all the bass, but if I put in the headphones, you guys won't be able to hear it either. Okay, that's that. Sugar Talking. Okay. She said something about flowers in her apartment. Yep, that's that alternative cover. So far, I'm really liking this one out of the 4 I've listened to. Okay. Okay. Next up, we almost broke up again last night. Okay.
Is that how the saying goes? Been here 1,000 times. Selective memory. I hear it in his eyes.
This is very distinctly Sabrina, but also very ABBA, which she has said she owns almost every ABBA album ever made, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. In the Nardwuar interview, she had purchased one album by ABBA. I will link that interview down below if you want to check it out. Red flag. One thing about Sabrina, you can't say she sounds like any of the other pop girlies these days. Nobody's Son is next.
I hope you're great. I think it's time we took a break so I can vote emotionally.
Dang. I felt that. Okay. Okay. That's kind of cool.
Call up the boys and crack a Miller Lite. Using your lips on a girl with big tits.
Oh my god.
Oh, I know where you live.
Oh my god. Why did we need that visual?
Love you just the same.
God.
I just hope you get a car for me.
This is so savage without being aggressive.
Cause you're still inside in abstinence.
That was funny. Okay, when did you get hot? Up next.
So long, untouched, bone dry, not a plant can grow. About time I get back on my horse to the road.
I like this one.
Bigger than 2
Wow.
Can you lift my car with your hand? You were an ugly kid, but you're a sexy man. Sorry, I did not see.
Go-Go Juice.
Love when happy hour comes at 10 a.m. o'clock on a Tuesday.
She might as well just make a country album. She's so good at it. I do like this mixing of genres. Also, I'm watching it this or listening to this on YouTube and reading the lyrics, so that's what I'm looking at. Her harmonies are really nice. Okay, I like this one too so far. Anything that can make me move. Oh my god. She is crazy.
love me, love me, love me. I'm just so proud of my design.
It is quite a metaphor. This shit. Oh my god. I gotta give it to her. It's brilliant. Next one is Goodbye.
Broke my heart on Saturday. Guess overnight your feelings changed, and I have cried so much. Forgive my French, but fuck you,
I love the way she ends her albums thus far. Ooh, it sounds a little Spanish, a little too. Well, that was quite the adventure. My favorites are House Tour. I liked Tears as well. And what was the other one I liked? It might have been Nobody's Son. This will definitely need a second listen for me to have more to say about it. But the lyrics are always good, of course. The melodies, I'm not too crazy about it, but the production is good. Yeah, I'm speechless. I am speechless. Yeah, and that's all I got for you guys. My next review is going to be Taylor Swift's The Life of a Showgirl. Just today, she announced that it's coming out in theater. So I don't know if that means we're going to get any songs on her YouTube channel, because that's how I listen to these songs, on their YouTube channel. So like, we'll see. I certainly hope she releases it out on her YouTube channel as well, and then I'll go see the movie later on during the weekend. I would like to review that the same day it comes out, so we'll see. But before that, I also have my thoughts on the whole engagement thing, and then also my thoughts on the podcast, and we'll talk about some Easter eggs and like predictions for what some of the tracks might be about, and then of course like the album comes out. So that's something for you guys to look forward to. And then after that, like I said, I have a vibe shift for the fall. I'm going to be reviewing albums with black and white album cover art only from the last 20 to 25 years. So definitely subscribe and stay tuned, and I will see you sometime next week when Taylor's album drops.